Welcome to this video reviewing the Supreme Court case of Coe versus Attorney Monroy. This case addresses administrative disbarment and professional ethics under the Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability. This video details the case overview of AC number 13753, promulgated on February 6, 2024. The Supreme Court en banc ordered the respondent, a former Bureau of Customs official, disbarred from the practice of law. The factual background reveals that in July 2000, Attorney Monroy, while serving as a director at the Bureau of Customs, offered to sell a seized vehicle to the complainant for 1.4 million pesos, claiming the transaction was lawful. The situation escalated into a fraudulent scheme. Attorney Monroy delayed delivery with excuses about pending signatures, claimed an accomplice stole the money, and eventually refused to honor his written promise to refund the payment. In September 2010, the Sandigan Bayan convicted Attorney Monroy in absentia for estafa and a violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. This conviction confirmed his involvement in a crime involving moral turpitude. During the administrative process, notices from the Integrated Bar of the Philippines were returned unserved because the respondent had moved without updating his records. Consequently, he was deemed to have waived his right to present evidence. The Supreme Court affirmed that lawyers have an affirmative duty to keep their registered addresses updated. A respondent cannot evade the court's jurisdiction by simply abandoning their records and avoiding official notices. The case highlights violations of CPRA ethical standards. Specifically, Canon 2 mandates honesty and fairness in public and private life. Attorney Monroy weaponized his public position for private gain, demonstrating gross deceit. This legal framework summary outlines how the CPRA applies to the respondent's ongoing case, noting his gross deceit, the misuse of his directorship for illegal transactions, and his resulting moral unfitness. This timeline illustrates the progression of events, starting with the initial solicitation in 2000, leading to his criminal conviction in 2010, the IBP review, and finally, the Supreme Court's order of disbarment in 2024. In summary, the Supreme Court determined that disbarment is the necessary consequence for a lawyer who acts with grave dishonesty and misuses public office, as these actions permanently disqualify an attorney from the practice of law. The key takeaway is that membership in the legal profession is a privilege contingent upon integrity and morality. When a lawyer disregards these standards, the Supreme Court will strip them of their license. This concludes our video. The images used in this presentation were sourced as listed here.